A tale of two seasons. The Wings started off the year on a record scoring pace, winning their first 3 games. But then they felt the heat of the Bandits in a 15-11 loss in Buffalo. Offensively, the spark has been provided by the blazing line of Paul and Gary Gate and standout rookie Tom Marechek. Against the Thunder, the Wings scored a record 25 goals. After getting singed in New York, they routed the Turbos and are 4-2.
Bandits have been in the face of their opponents all season. The scoring machine of John Tavares, bruising checks of Stu Aird, and the coming of age of Troy Cordingley have Buffalo fans primed for the playoffs. Buffalo's 5-0 all-time record against the Wings have them pointing to a three-peat, but along the way, Boston blazed the hopes of any thoughts of an undefeated season, upsetting them in a toe-to-toe brawl at the odd. This game is cramming, jamming, and slamming.
Welcome to the Spectrum. We expect a sellout crowd. That's not unusual here. Lee Felsman along with Christy Lee will be with you all game long as the Deuce continues our coverage of major indoor lacrosse league action. 2 more weeks before the playoffs start. Let's take a look at the divisional standings to see where the teams lie. 2 teams already in the playoffs for the National Division. The Bandits will host the Turbos. The big question mark is in the American Division. These Philadelphia Wings will play the winner of the Baltimore Thunder visiting the New York Saints. That game is next week. It'll be here on the Deuce. That's another story. Tonight, Philadelphia plays Buffalo. It's just a big game. You bet it is. Philadelphia has never beaten the Buffalo Bandits. They played them 5 times. The last 2 championships, and they cannot beat them. If they're going to get the monkey off their back, they better do it right here at the Spectrum. How do they do it? Let's take a look at the keys for the Philadelphia. They've got to beat Tavares. Tame Tavares. That's the key to the defense of Philadelphia. The last time they matched up, they only gave him 1 goal. This follow-up shot, watch him come in from the left. That's Tavares' only goal the last time Philadelphia played Buffalo in Buffalo. Since then, Tavares has been held to only 1 goal in each game by Boston. Toby Boucher right here. Beautiful defensive matchup, 1-on-1, focusing on Tavares, not giving him an inch, shadowing him all over the field. It was effective. Will Philly do it tonight for Buffalo? They've got to close the gate. Both gates to be exact. The gate-brother combination is explosive. This is what Buffalo did last time they matched up. They double-teamed, they mauled, they grabbed, they held. Watch, 2 teams, 3 players, 4 players come in and double, triple, quadruple team the great Gate brothers. If Philadelphia is going to win tonight, they've got to move the ball on offense against the double-teaming, the triple-teaming, the quadruple-teaming team from Buffalo. Now, I mentioned these teams fighting for playoff spots. Literally, they've been fighting. The last 2 weeks, we've had 2 bench-clearing brawls that have led to suspensions in the league. That's another story, and Christy Lee's got it.
That's right, Lee. We had some major suspension problems. After that brawl last week at the Spectrum between the Wings and the Detroit Turbos, the MILL took a look at that tape. They've handed down some suspensions. Chris Flynn will not play tonight. Bill Miller, he's out for 2 games. For the Detroit Turbos, Pat Coyle, Kevin Dance, Dwayne Jacobs, they're also suffering some suspension problems. We asked Tony Resch, the coach for the Wings, how is he going to make room? What's he going to do? He's got 2 players sitting down. Who's coming in? We found out Paul O'Grady is going to play his first MILL game tonight. Chris Bates is going to take the place of Chris Flynn. On the other side of the coin, the Buffalo Bandits have their own problems. Darius Kilgore, injured last week, shoulder problem. He's out. We talked to head coach Les Bartley, and we asked him how is he going to compensate for the loss of Darius Kilgore.
Well, I don't know whether you can fully compensate for Darius being out of tonight's lineup, but some things that we're going to try and do is we've got Rich Kilgore's brother playing in his spot on the 2nd line, and of course Darius also over and above his role on his 2nd line, he also plays our short man and our power play. So what we've done on our short man is put Brian Hall into the short man situation in Darius' spot, and on the power play we've instituted Tyson Elias to play in his spot there. Darius also takes faceoffs and is our secondary faceoff man for the team, and we're also going to have Rich Kilgore's brother take those for us tonight.
So the strategies are all set, and we're ready to throw the rack. The fans are just going nuts here at the Spectrum. It's going to be an unbelievable game. Big game. How's it going? The head cheerleader for the Wings.
Listen, we have a little surprise for you. We want to make you an honorary cheerleader tonight.
All right, I'm going to be a cheerleader. All right.
For the Wings, yeah.
All right, Gabe's going to teach me to cheer. We'll be back to throw out the rack coming up next here on the Deuce. So how do we do that, Gabe?
W.
W. major indoor lacrosse league game on the Deuce is brought to you by Coors Light, the official beer of the MILL. Coors Light, check it out. By Adidas, the official footwear of the MILL. Adidas, the brand with 3 stripes. And by STX Lacrosse Equipment, official equipment supplier to the Philadelphia Wings.
Tonight, Troy Cordingley, one of the young stars for Buffalo. He is the man of Troy, scoring a lot of goals. Second in scoring for Buffalo. Tom Marchek was drafted by Buffalo. Red-hot rookie, the best assist man per game. The goalies will become critical. The human barricades. Dallas Elliott, the best in the league. 77% save percentage. Ross Cowie, 71. He's 5th out of 6 as they stand in the league. The Bandits against the Wings, a rematch of the championship game of the last 2 years. Leif Elsmo, Christy Lee, we are underway. The rock is rolling on the Deuce. Philadelphia in their gray and black. We're playing in their home Spectrum in Philadelphia, and it is packed. The matchup in this series, 5-0, led by Buffalo. 3 of them by 1 goal. And the last 2 championships were 1-goal games. Whoa, there's a big goal. Rope. And Philadelphia starts off with Denikin coming in and putting pressure on Ross Cowie. This game is critical for Philadelphia. They must win. They must learn how to beat Buffalo before the potential rematch in the championship. Denikin gets him started. Comes in. He's got a good move to get past the defense of Tavares. And then he dunks it right-handed. Tavares couldn't get over there in time. And inside of 1 minute, actually it took him about a half a minute, they get the first goal, 1-0. Philadelphia in the lead, and they control the second faceoff. Don't forget, 2 of their key players, Chris Flynn, Billy Miller. Miller, a world team player. Chris Flynn, a local favorite. Not only an All-American in Penn and Lacrosse. Paul Gate now, that's Gary with the ball, 22, gives it out front. Rob Scheck takes a shot that bounces off the board. Shot clock down to 10, a 30-second shot clock. You must hit the goal to reset that shot clock, and it hasn't been done yet. Down to 3-2. They'll lose possession if they don't get it. Buffalo gets it now. Far side, look for transition. Hammer Hamley couldn't get the feed from Rich Kilgore, number 16. Here comes Philadelphia. Finneran, number 11 for the Wings. He is such a solid player. Comes in left-handed, gets in front and takes a shot. The defense by Rich Kilgore. Philadelphia again gets the ball back. They have controlled it in the first 2 minutes. It's early. I told you how important this was. A rocket shot by Gary Gate, number 22. Watch the Gate brothers, 22 and 19. Gary Gate over the shoulder, out in front, but picked up finally by Hammer Hamley. He gets hammered into the boards. Finally, possession for Buffalo. Well, we're 2 minutes into the first quarter, and so far it's been all offense for Philadelphia. Silcott comes in from the bench. Buffalo in the orange-shouldered black and white uniforms. Bounce shot. He missed the goal in that one. Now they come out front. That's Nicola. Tries to get another shot off the pipe. Resets the shot clock. He was just trying to get a shot off. Fast break, but no. Paul Gate came out too early in the substitution, and Roy Condon, the referee.
19, not even close. Not even close, 19.
All right, Paul and Gary Gate, they are so explosive offensively. As we look at Tony Resch and his bench.
19 delayed game, left the penalty box early.
They're going to give the substitution to any player. What happens is the bench, the substitution area runs in front of the benches. If your player coming into the bench gets his stick length, touches the stick to that penalty, that area right in front of the bench, the guy coming into the game can explode onto the field. Paul Gates stretched it a little bit. Buffalo knows the Gates love to get the transition going, and they will stretch it as far as they can. They violated that one. 2 minutes in the box for Paul Gate. Power play for Buffalo. They're down by 1 in the first quarter. This is Veltman. Hamley, he's the trigger man up front. Wing shot down low, and Tavares had nothing to shoot at against Dallas Elliott. Tavares was so low, he had really nothing to shoot at, and Elliott just sealed the inside shot. It bounces out. This is Brian Boger, All-American defenseman at Hopkins. Philadelphia now 4 players against the 5 for Buffalo. What Buffalo likes to do is play a box with a man in the middle. They don't want to pressure the ball. They'll give the ball to Philadelphia for the 30 seconds. Shot clock now down to 6. Even though they're a man short, they have to give it up, and they do give it up by rolling into the corner. Les Bartley does not want to give up a goal. Many teams do by being a little bit too anxious, too aggressive when they are a man up trying to get the ball back. He gives them the 30 seconds with the ball. Now he resets his power play. So far, shots, Bandits 3, Wings 2, but they lead, the Wings do, 1-0. That shot on the power play does not even hit the goal. Reset now, Hammer Hamley, 10 seconds on the shot clock, 9. Veltman will shoot in close. He's looking for rope, but again, another big save by Elliott. McAvoy gives it back to Dallas Elliott, the best goalie in the league statistically. And here come the Wings. They've never beaten Buffalo.
Let's go back again.
You've got a 10-second clearing mandate. Philadelphia took too long to get the ball cleared. It goes back to Buffalo. 30 seconds left on the penalty. Plenty of time to get a good shot. They really haven't had a good shot yet. Here's Hammer Hamley. He's got rope. He came right in against the defense of John McAvoy and bounced one past Elliott. It looked plenty savable. Watch Hamley as he looks at his options. McAvoy backs up. McAvoy backs up. Hamley just takes the bounce shot. He gets rope behind Dallas Elliott, number 35. It's all tied at 1. The man you hear on the mic is Roy Condon. He's the head referee. We've got him mic'd. We'll be able to hear all the calls and what he has to do on the field to maintain control of this major indoor lacrosse league action. Buffalo now settles in. They historically do not have great first quarters. Tyson Elias, a good-looking rookie, launches himself an air shot. He got some air coming across the cylinder, but did not get it past Dallas Elliott. Here come the Wings. Keep your eye on number 49 in the orange. That's Tyson Elliott. He just made that last shot. He is a good-looking rookie. Paul Gate all the way across to Jimmy Rogers, local favorite from Villanova. He has been looking good, too. And talk about rookies. Give it up to the near side. Got it. Rope. Govett had a great screen. Watch him. All those people in front of the goalie. He wraps it around all that confusion and scores on Cowie. 2-1. Philadelphia leads in the first quarter.
And on the bench, the guys are really excited. They've not beaten Buffalo. They got to get it done, and the job seems to be happening for them. They got to play that tough man-to-man defense. The guys are coaching them and telling them, get in the corners, get deep. We can get it out of the corners. We can cut it across. We can score on these guys. And watch Tavares. They're closing him down.
All right, Tavares, we know, is one of the focuses of the defense of Philadelphia. They pick it off in midair and come back down. They're all offensive. That's Scott Gabrielson. Just picked it cleanly. Captain of the Philadelphia Wings, but he can't find Nostrand. Goes over to McAvoy and Veltman defending him. Saves, 6 for the Wings, 1 for the Bandits. The Wings have been putting the numbers on the goal, but Buffalo's been putting more shots on the board. Tavares, it's a 2-on-1. Veltman, trailer. Over to Veltman. He'll take a shot looking for rope. No. Elliott makes a broom save, sweeps it off. Roy Condon calling on the dot. They'll reset from up front. He tries to get it in quick. He does. He finds a man in front. Stu Aird. Aird really got open. Here's Tavares now with the ball, trying to find Veltman, who's double teamed. Absolutely level, but look at the ground balls picked up. Now Stu Aird picks up, looking for something in close. He gets a man. Cordingley missed the goal. Beautiful feed by Aird. He just missed the far pipe. Another shot behind the back. Tried to pick up. Interference call now on Stu Aird. Good offensive set for Buffalo, but better defense yet by the Wings. And look at Dallas Elliott, the best in the league at this point. 77.4 save percentage. He's only played 5 games. 1 game he had to sit out. He had a small orthoscopic knee surgery done. Kevin Finneran.
Keep him down now. Keep it down.
Roy Condon getting control of the players.
Don't hold him. Don't hold him.
Bobby Scheck looking for rope, goes wide. Left-handed shot, pulls it wide to the goalie's left. And here comes Buffalo. Game's 2-1. We're about halfway through the first quarter on the deuce. This game next week to follow will be Baltimore at New York. Those are the last 2 games of the regular season. Playoffs coming up, and this could be a championship matchup. It has been the last 2 years. That's why it's so critical for Philadelphia to figure out how to beat Buffalo. They try to fast break it. Finneran Can't catch the ball, but the defense, Cochran way back. Look at the defense for Buffalo, clogging up the cylinder. Veteran trying to get open, Rag. Hard shot bounces off that defense I talked about, but it rolls in. Cowie scores on himself. They're putting pressure. They watch this bounce off the defensive player. Easy save for Cowie. Cowie can't pick it up cleanly, and the top spin rolls it in. Cowie can't believe it. 3-1. The Wings are in front. Their shooting percentage has been incredible because Buffalo has put a lot more shots on goal, but Philadelphia is beating Ross Cowie early. Don't be surprised if Cowie can't get his feet under him. If Les Bartley goes to Bill Geary. Geary came in last week in Boston, ended up being the MVP after filling in for Ross on a penalty. That shot by Gummit. He's already got one goal. Couldn't be picked up by goalie Cowie. Tyson Elias now gets it out to Glenn Lay. And now Brian Hall, watch number 17 pick it up. He's had the flu the last couple days. We'll see if Brian Hall can make it the full way. Right into the midsection of Dallas Elliott. And you can hear Condon taking no prisoners down there as a referee. He is telling him exactly how he wants him to play.
You can bump them, don't hold them.
He's taking my cues beautifully, I must say. 6:31. Ball bounces off the boards. Back into Ross Cowie. Cowie has had some bad luck here in the first quarter. That last one with a heavy topspin rolled in. Stu Air now with the ball. 3-1. Philadelphia leads, and Buffalo leading 10-6. I told you about that shots and goals. The shots just haven't been tough enough to beat that one in close, to beat Dallas Elliott. They get the ball back. They better get it to the shot clock. Far side slam dunk. Big save by Dallas Elliott. And Philadelphia picks it up. The crowd loves it. Sellout here at the Spectrum. Philadelphia won 2 World Cup championships. The North American Cup. And then Detroit won one before Buffalo came to town. They won the last 2. Wings ticked 10 saves against Buffalo's 3. Cowie's got to get hot soon. Here's one comes off his shoulder pads, and Veltman, the vacuum cleaner, picks it up. Tavares, 3 players back to play defense on Tavares. He's looking for a trailing player. He's got Kilgore in the middle. That ball checked out of his stick by the great defense of Brian Volker. Beautiful job by Brian Volker, number 6 for Philadelphia. This is McAvoy, number 12. He can't find his help. Cowie picks up, looks for the outlet. Too many Wings back, so they hold up. Now Tavares looks for the outlet. He elects to thread the needle. He's got it. Down low, one Buffalo player, and that was Derek Laub. Laub had 2 players playing defense against him. He elected to wait for the offense to catch up. Hammer Hamley. Hamley takes the low shot. They still haven't hit the goal. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Now it's 8, 7. They'll have to hurry up. Hamley knew they had to hurry. He couldn't handle the feed, and they'll lose possession here. Down to 1. There it is. The whistle blows. They'll lose possession on a shot clock violation. Poor time management that time. They had some shots. There is the bench. Tony Resch, All-American at Yale, All-Ivy League, World Team Player in '90 when the United States won in Australia. He's done it all. And the loose ball, the hustle index. So critical, pretty close right now, but so critical in determining the winners. Well, Andy Shaughnessy is going to spend some time in the box. Darius Kilgore, we talked about him not being here because of an injury.
5-4.
Or if we haven't talked about it, we should. Darius Kilgore is one of the key players in this Buffalo offense. There's a good look at Scott Gabrielson, captain. And now Ross Cowie as he gets set. He's got a power play. 5 players for Philadelphia against his 4 defensive men. This is Paul Gate triggering up front. Gary Gate gets it down deep to Finneran. Finneran loses control. Stu Aird just flips it into Cowie. Tommy Marichek interfered. When the goalie gets it in that crease, he's protected, even if he only has 1 foot in there. Trying to find Cordingley. Good play. Cordingley might try to score here. They're a man down, but this team is probably the toughest team when they are a man short of anybody in the league. Buffalo, that is. Paul Gate, 19. He's got a lot of green up front. Trying to get to Denikin, but knocked down by Veltman. Veltman has such great reach, number 32. Brian Nicola, he wants his left. He'll drive in all alone. He's got rope. Beautiful shot by Brian Nicola. He found the corner right over the left shoulder. He was all alone on that fast break. Nicula, number 12, had to beat this defense. Came in, took the rocket shot, beats Dallas Elliott. They're back to within 1.
Sophisticated computer.
17 left in the first. All even now as Buffalo gets all 5 players on the boards. Bandits doubling the shots of the Wings, 13-7. Paul Gate tries to force one over the defense of Brian Hall. Cowie makes the save. And the Bandits second in the middle, averaging 15 goals per game. And guess who they're second to, folks? They're second to Philadelphia, who averages 15.8. Defense for Philadelphia a little bit better, mostly because Dallas Elliott leads the league. So when you look at these two teams, there's about a 2-goal difference, one on offense and one on defense between them in the favor of Philadelphia. But Philadelphia's never beaten them. There's the push call. There's the penalty. Brian Hall, number 17, will go to the box. And look at Gary just laughing as he gets up. Brian Hall runs over Gary Gate from behind. He'll get a 2-minute penalty. A little bit too much to ask, I think, of this man-down unit to go ahead against this powerful offense of Philadelphia. Yet another 2-minute stretch. They didn't get many good shots last time. Let's see what happens here if they move something around. Paul Gate still triggers from up top, but they're rotating Gary all the way around, and they did not get a shot again. This power play looks pathetic. For all the firepower they haven't even really gotten good shots. Tony Resch has got to be going nuts.
That was a 21.
Dyson Elias, Denikin on him, number 3. Elias, a rookie, big and strong, 49. Let's see if he goes for a full gainer from the right side. Is he looking for air? He'll take the shot there, looking for the corner, can't get it. Didn't reset the shot clock, and it goes right back to Gary Martin, number 33, defensive specialist for Philadelphia. Now they'll reset. A full minute left on the penalty. They haven't had hardly a good shot on this power play. Paul Gate, he takes one, can't find the goal. Picked up now by Denikin. Man down unit for Buffalo. Got to be a little bit tired. Look out in front. Lyons makes the big check on Finner, and Ross Cowie picks it up. Now there is 47 on the penalty. Watch Tavares, and he's checked from behind. Paul Gate. He's going to go to the penalty box, but he had to go ahead and make the big check. What an outlet pass. Beautiful outlet pass. This team is made on transition. Cowie launches it. Look at this angle. Right down to Tavares. Paul Gate has to make a last gasp check. He comes over the top, and the hole right there. You got to tame Tavares, and that is about the only thing you could do from behind. Paul Gate had to make that over-the-head check. He saved the goal. He goes to the penalty box. It'll be 4-on-4. Les Bartley trying to get a clarification from Roy Condon.
Oh, it isn't.
Troy Cordingley trying to get in. He's getting mugged. There's another penalty. Cordingley tries a slam dunk.
33.
Gary Martin absolutely tackling him. Would have been a great play for the Philadelphia Eagles, playing that middle linebacker spot. Cordingley trying to get the first down. And he'll go to the box. That means it'll be power play Buffalo. So Buffalo has not only stopped the power play for Philadelphia. They take a timeout, Buffalo does, because they want to take advantage. 5 seconds left in the first quarter. 5 seconds left in the first. And it'll be 4-on-3. You heard Roy say it. Buffalo will be up by 1 when we come back. 3-2, Philadelphia leads. 5.6 seconds in the first quarter. They take a shot. Elliott makes the sweeping save. Where's the ball? He doesn't know where it is. First quarter's over. That'll do it. Wait a minute.
Coach, that's a misconduct. I want your captain in the box for 10. Right there. Give me your captain.
All right, Philadelphia falling apart on the bench.
Coach, you got bullshit. And that is a misconduct right here, right now. Give me a captain.
All right, Roy Condon, as I said, taking no prisoners. Using a little bit of language in there to reinforce his point. Roy Condon.
10-minute misconduct on the bench, on the coach. Served by the captain. 10-minute misconduct.
Let me tell you something, folks. Philadelphia.
Captain will serve it. Who's wearing the C?
That's
bench penalty. Who is wearing the C?
Scott Gabrielson is the captain, wearing the C, so he'll be going over there soon.
Number 8. Number 8. 10 minutes.
So that is a non-releasable major penalty, folks. 10 minutes.
You're the captain and your coach.
Penalty on the coach, and this is critical. Tony Resch becoming unraveled on the sideline. And you'll notice Buffalo, Les Bartley, has probably the most controlled sideline in the game. I'll tell you what, this place was closed down last week early because the crowd gets nuts here. Roy Condon may be taking on 16,000 folks. Shot by Courtney outside. When we come back, it'll be Buffalo in charge. They'll have more players than Philly, but they're down by 1 to the Wings. Season's ending next week. Baltimore at New York. It's the last playoff spot that's up for grabs. The last regular season game of the season will be there. You'll see it March 28th as Baltimore and New York play for the right to play the Philadelphia Wings in the divisional playoff game. A backcourt call by Roy Condon. You'll see Philadelphia come in. Here comes Gary Gate. Left-handed shot against Cowie. And a big save. Cowie started off a little bit rocky. He seems to have settled down. In the first quarter, you can see the shots dominated by Buffalo. Loose balls by Buffalo also. Faceoffs doing a great job there. They are leading in every statistical category except the score. 14:35. We are just into the second quarter. And here comes Philadelphia's new offense. Denikin now controls the ball deep into the corner. Double team by Buffalo. Shaughnessy can't get him. Denikin squirted through the defense, but checked from behind by Shaughnessy. 3-2. Wings lead, but it is a precarious lead because statistically it's been all Buffalo, the visiting team. Philadelphia has to find a way to beat this Buffalo squad. Tavares still has it. Look at that, he throws it in. It was a fake move by Tavares. He faked like he gave it to Hamley, and he came right in. Dallas Elliott faked out of his shoes. Watch Tavares. He faked like he gave it to Hamley. He didn't even have it. Our cameraman's faked out. It's down to the right, and it's just a slam dunk by Tavares. Shows you how good it was. Our cover camera was also fooled. That man right there pretended he just flipped it to Hamley. Hamley starts moving his stick as if he has it. Tavares just walks down the side. Dallas Elliott is looking the other way, and he slam dunks it home. Gimmick play by Tavares ties the game at 3, and I'm sure, folks, Philadelphia is a little bit demoralized after this first quarter. Buffalo so calm and collected, just seeming to do what they want. You won't see an easier goal than that. Tavares using a gimmick play. The Gates used that play when they were at Syracuse many times. They even called some rule changes. Here comes Tavares out front to Veltman. Veltman now looking for the fast break. Gives it down to Brian Hall. They'll change some players. Hamley coming in, looking for rope, and a big save by Elliott. Hamley is railed by Rob Scheck. They're going to give the ball back to Buffalo because of Scheck. He had to play tough defense against Hamley, who was coming out of the box on the transition. Timeout called by Philadelphia. Philadelphia calls a timeout right now. Buffalo will have the ball. We come back. They got a tie score, 3-3. This one is for Pride. Okay, line, he is in total control. They really run a tight ship in Buffalo. Probably one of the best organizations from my standpoint in the league, if not the best. World champions 2 years in a row. And throw John Moradian in that mix on why they're so successful. He and Les Bartley, Pete Crawford, the whole crew. Look how organized the bench is throughout this game. The Wings have the fewest number of penalties. 40 is the number, and that has been good for them throughout this season. But tonight, the story has been a lot of offense for the Wings, but not that many goals. They have 3 goals, one of them scored by Cowie. None by the Gates. Nicola shoots from way out in front. Shot clock down to 8. They've got the ball back. Lias has it. He better get one on goal. They try to get it over to Lay, and he can't find the ball. That was Glenn Lay, but he was wrapped up beautifully. Shot clock violation. Philadelphia with the ball back. No goals by the Gates yet. 1 goal by Denikin, 1 by Govett. Buffalo 2 of 2, an extra man. Philadelphia hasn't scored yet. And I'll tell you what, they really didn't have very many good shots. Tyson Lyons, the good-looking rookie. He is strong and powerful, but Finneran checks it out of his stick. He picks it right back up. Trailing players Nicola. He looks for Nicola. Now Glenn Lay. Glenn Lay cannot quite get it cleanly, but he now picks it up. Shot clock down to 16. Hamley comes in. They're taking a lot of time changing this line. They won't have much time to get a shot off. Hamley against Rob Scheck. Shaughnessy sets a pick, and Hamley can't get a clean shot. Ball back to Philly. 11:50 left. Leif Ellsmo, Christy Lee on the deuce. Ground balls in favor of the Bandits, 31-19 at this point. Kevin Finneran played at Ohio Wesleyan and a very solid player in this league. Here's Robbie Scheck. Scheck and rope. Well, Tony Resch has been looking for Scheck to add some punch to the offense, looking to wrap it around the defense. A lot of confusion. Cowie can't see it cleanly. Maricek way down there screening the shot. Watch Scheck rolling again. Maricek is down low, screening the sight right there, 42. See him screening Cowie? That bounce shot finds rope. 4-3. The Wings back in front by 1. And Scheck is way off his numbers of last year. Philadelphia, if they're going to be a force this year and make it to the championship, they really need some help from Robbie Scheck. All-American at Towson State. Tremendous talent, was on the rise, except this year his numbers have sort of leveled off. McAvoy now from Philadelphia into Maricek, number 42. He is such a talent. Tremendous feeder behind the back. You don't know where the ball's coming from or going to, because he can do it behind the back. Predominantly right-handed, but that behind-the-back feed and accuracy with the shot makes it really impossible to defend. And when Maricek is on the floor with any of the Gates, he's on the floor right now with Paul, that is a tough combination. Tavares, number 11, against Maricek. Out front, watch Stewart, finds rope. He just wound up and hit the corner on Elliott. 4-4 tie with 10:38 left in the second. If there's a weakness to this man, Dallas Elliott, it's these outside shots. He is schooled in the box leagues, and these outside shots really burn him if they find the corner, and Stewart hit it perfectly. Great look at it right then over the shoulder, the right shoulder of Elliott. High, hard shot finding rope. Air matches Scheck's goal. Watch out. Tavares picks it up. He's off to the races, looking for rope. He can't get it. Beautiful check with the last moment. Trailing player was John McAvoy, and McAvoy saved a goal. McAvoy gets the ball back as a reward in the Bates. Bates looks for it. Far side. Cowie with an arm save. Bates got McAvoy up top if he wants him. Bates trying to do it all himself, goes near side, and Cowie makes a save, gets the ball back. Big save by Cowie. Game tied at 4, 9:41 left, second quarter. Brian Hall, 17, controls the ball as the new players come on. Johnny Nelson trying to match up defensively. Brian Hall gets inside all alone, looking for rope, finds corner. Beautiful job by Brian Hall. No help defensively. He just went one-on-one with Johnny Nostrin. And Hall, the guy who had the flu this week, look, he gets inside, waits the last moment. He gets Elliott moving east to west.
Keep going. Well,
Elliott now going right to his left. Watch Elliott moving. He's unsettled, and then Hall finds his target. 5-4. The Bandits now lead in the second quarter. 9 minutes left. Delay of game gives the ball back to Philly. Gary Gate can't control it. No Gate scores yet, folks. And that is a story in itself. Tyson Lyons can't pick it up. Off the boards he does now. Gabrielson back in the game. He was serving a 10-minute penalty on Tony Resch. That doesn't come off the floor. In other words, you don't take a man off the floor, but your captain has to go in the box for those 10 minutes. Christy Lee, give us an update from the sidelines.
Well, Leif, I'm on the bench with the Buffalo Bandits, and John Tavares is joining me. John, you took a pretty big hit there. Are you okay?
Yeah, it was obviously a nice shot from behind. I hit my shoulder into the boards, and the referee accused me of diving. If they want to clean up all the garbage in this league, they're going to have to start making calls like that.
There you have it, John Tavares.
And Christy, you know, John Tavares does not speak out very much, so obviously a little bit crunched there on a hit and asking for a little tighter game. John Tavares, Mr. Everything in this league. Right now, the best all-around player in the league, leading in goals and points coming into this game. Led the league last year in those categories as well. He is a go-to guy, great defensive player. Ross Cowie out. Now the crowd asking for blood on Cowie, but nobody's there to play defense. Paul Gate was back there with 3 players from Buffalo. Paul Gate now trots back in to play defense. Robbie Scheck right there, number 18, playing on Hamley. Hamley's got room. He's looks for rope, but picked up neatly. And in the pads of Dallas Elliott. 5-4, Buffalo leads. 7:40 left in the second quarter. Gates come off the field. Now Rogers comes on. This good-looking third unit. Maricek. Now, this is not the third unit. This is up top with Paul Gate and Maricek. This is their first unit. And Cochran's going to be called for Buffalo. He'll spend 2 minutes in the box. Let Roy Condon explain.
Orange number 9. 9. Hold. 5 on 4.
Buffalo penalty number 9.
So you'll have 5 on 4.
2 minutes for hold.
Yeah, and you do notice the face mask difference. Some of these helmets are customized. The rule is you got to have some iron in front of you. And we can look at different face masks and see a lot of different configurations. For instance, that was a football face mask. We recognize that. If you look at Tyson Elias's face mask, he's cut out all the iron. A lot of space in his. Maricek comes in, takes a shot behind the back. The extra man unit for Philadelphia has been pathetic. 18 saves for Elliott, 7 for Cowie. The pressure has been all on Elliott. If it's not been for him, Philadelphia gets burned again on a power play. Unbelievable. Stu Aird comes down and scores a man short. The second goal in a row for Aird. And the second man short goal for Buffalo this game. Look at them launch themselves down. They just attack the goal. Stu Aird, 36 years old. He'll be 37 next month, folks. Beautiful play. Aird, very smart, sights up his shot, and boom. Elliott under a lot of pressure. Starting to crumble, possibly. We'll see. 6-4, the Bandits lead. This team is unbelievable the way Buffalo can score a man short. They've scored 2 man short goals, 2 man up goals. And 2 with teams of even strength. Now the power play again. Philadelphia right into the face of Cowie. Then a slam dunk by Maricek. He misses the goal. Maricek had a follow-up shot that would have been easy. Watch out for Hamley. He's going for rope. Backside. Elliott with a great save. Hamley came off the bench. Beautiful outlet pass by Cowie. Almost put the ball in the net again. Gary Gate. Tony Rich has to be concerned with his power play. It has looked absolutely horrible. There's a great goal. Finally, Denikin just sights it up and nails it. Second goal of the game for Denikin. Denikin's rocket brings the Wings back to within 1. 6-5, Buffalo has the lead. They are dominating all the categories. They're in the spectrum, and Philadelphia still scratching their head, trying to figure out a way to beat this great team from Buffalo. Buffalo without Darius Kilgore tonight. He has an injured shoulder. Les Bartley, knowing that probably this game is probably more important for Philadelphia because they have never beaten Buffalo. Buffalo is going to play Detroit next week no matter what. And they've got to beat them probably in the second game for sure to get into the championship. There's finally another goal by Glenn Lay. He backed himself in against the defense. 1-on-1, no help defensively. And Glenn Lay is just too big, too strong to keep out by one man. Watch the size mismatch. Glenn Lay comes in. Defense there, finally the double team from the top side, but Glenn Lay squirts out behind Gabrielson, gets the goal. One more time, Gabrielson comes in, misses him on the double team, and Glenn Lay rolled in. Nobody from the cylinder side helped out. Glenn Lay's 6th goal of the season. Elliott under intense pressure. Now the Bandits lead by 2. 5.5 minutes left in the second. McAvoy. Derek Law playing defense. McAvoy looking for help. Philadelphia has not looked very consistent back of the goal. That was not a goal. The ball bounced off the boards into the net. Push call. Gets it back to Philadelphia in a fresh 30-second shot clock. Ross Cowie, started off a little bit rocky, has really evened out. Les Bartley, just saw a shot of him, really works the bench beautifully. Tavares has a goal and 2 assists. The Gates, no goals and 1 assist. Paul and Gary Gate have really revolutionized the game. They are American heroes, but they are Canadians, and I don't mind telling you, these teams from Buffalo that are predominantly Canadian with players come down here, they want to prove something. Nostrom can't pick it up plainly now. Watch out inside. Beautiful job there by O'Grady, playing his first major indoor lacrosse league game. O'Grady, a rookie from Villanova. Bates. Bates has a few minutes. McAvoy, the hard shot off the stick of Cowie. Kilgore, Rich Kilgore, dares not here, being checked from behind by O'Grady. Push call, gives it back to Kilgore. 4.5 minutes left in the second. 7-5. Bandits. Jimmy Dalton, 32 to Hardle. Hardle fakes inside now. That is Tavares. Can't get it cleanly. Bates playing great defense, keeping the ball on the ground. And the shots on goal, you can see Buffalo really commanding twice as many shots on goal as Philadelphia has. And this shocks me, folks. When you look at the numbers dominated by Buffalo in the spectrum in Philadelphia's home field, I think Mike French, general manager, and as we look at again, this is Les Bartley, Buffalo's coach, but Mike French, his counterpart, also Tony Resch, have to be concerned. Crowd sitting around wondering when this team will explode. Everybody feels like Philadelphia has the explosive potential. Meanwhile, 21 goes into the box for a 2-minute penalty. That's Jeff Hardle. And again, it'll be a power play opportunity for Philadelphia. Paul Gate to Tom Marechek. Marechek, Gate. He takes a shot from up front, just can't find a goal. Here come off to the races. It'll be Tavares, nobody in the goal. Elliott comes out, and that'll be a 2-minute penalty. You cannot hit the man until he catches the ball. The rule is, see the ball coming down, you've got to give him a chance to catch it and take 1 step. He's got to be able to catch it and take a step. Look at Elliott trying to nail him. It's a blindside hit that can be very devastating physically. And he's going to go into the box. Elliott comes off the field.
We know you're white ball stuff. He's got the call. He's got the call. He's got the knee. He stuck his
Look at
knee
that.
out.
That's right. He stuck his knee out, and that's what they're arguing about. The whole team is talking about the knee coming out, but let me tell you something. He is out of the game. Andy Piazza, that's Elliott in the bench. And that was not a good move for Dallas Elliott. Look at Bartley trying to protect his players. He won't have any of that. Bartley is the defending world champion coach, and he doesn't want any of that. Elliott, not a good move, a little bit of a push move for Dallas Elliott, who's been a sensational goalie and a role model. He got caught up in the emotion. Les Bartley doesn't want any more of that from Dallas Elliott, the #1 goalie in the league.
We need a sub.
All right, they're going to put a sub in for Elliott, but Elliott's out, Piazza's in, and the Bandits have a chance to go up by 3. That pass from Cowie, and Dallas Elliott under tremendous pressure. Look, elects to come out. He's got to try to take the player out. Elliott gets caught up in the emotion of the game. Watch his left leg. Left leg comes out. That is the flagrant part of that attempted hit that gave him this little rest in the box. Dallas Elliott, the benchmark of greatness in this league right now. He is a tremendous player and really one of the best all-around guys as far as athletes and people. He's just a tremendous player. He now under intense pressure, as I've mentioned, all through the first half is in the box. Andy Piazza takes his place. Piazza has some minutes because of the injury earlier on. Piazza got to play a whole game against New York. Philadelphia didn't win that game, but Piazza looked darn good. Wasn't as consistent maybe as a guy with as many minutes as Dallas Elliott, but Piazza proved himself, so he'll be okay if he gets a little bit of a warm-up. Now Philadelphia, it's 4-on-4. Marechek takes a shot. Tavares to the head, and he goes to the box. I think it'll be a 5-minute major, folks, and that's why they're arguing. Tavares may have been paying him back for the hit on him. me try to explain. I think...
See ya.
Well, the wheels are falling off the emotional card here for
You got number 11
Buffalo.
with a 5-minute
Watch
major with a
Tavares.
cross check up here. You
Check
got
to the
number
head of
40
Marichek.
and a
Marichek takes a shot.
misconduct. And he's serving 10. It does not affect the floor strength. Number 11 goes for 5. All right, that's fine. No.
That's Roy Condon giving you the breakdown.
We got number
That's Tavares in the
11
background.
goes for 5
Troy
minutes.
Cornley
It's
to
a
our
major
right.
2 goals.
And in the background is Hartle. We forgot about him, but he's been in there for a long time.
Number 40 has a misconduct. Does not affect floor strength.
So that's Bartley, I'll tell you right now, is telling his team to get under control because he doesn't want any part of this lack of control. And if you don't play under control for this man, you sit on your fanny the rest of the game. I don't care how many players are here and suited up. But you'll see him take charge of this team and get them back in order. Christy, what's that bench look like?
Well, you're talking about taking charge. That's exactly what Les Bartley just told his players. He said, we are not going to play this game this way. We're going to play our game. We're going to beat them on the scoreboard. We're not going to have what happened here last week with the Detroit Turbos with the Buffalo Bandits. We'll have to wait and see, but I'll tell you what, their tempers are really at the boiling point.
And Christy, where it really started was when they came down, Elliott puts his leg out, and Buffalo said, what's more flagrant than that? Why isn't that a 5-minute major? They didn't get a 5-minute major, they got a 2-minute penalty. And that's what really ticked Tavares off. One check to the helmet, and he gets a 5-minute major. He didn't think that was an equitable call, and that's what set him off.
Jimmy Veltman, I'll tell you what, I've never seen him in all of the games we've played so far this season. He's another one to watch because he is really upset with the way things are going in this game on the official side, I think.
All right, we're at the Spectrum. The score is 7-5. There are 3 minutes left, and we've got a loaded penalty box for the Buffalo Bandits. Hartle's in there with an old penalty that'll be up in just seconds. Tavares is in there for a 5-minute major. Cordingley's in there for a 10-minute misconduct, which means it won't affect floor strength, but he's in there for a long time. Paul Gate. He's got room. Finally, the power play of Philadelphia comes through.
And that counts as 1 goal against him.
Paul Gate just winds up 4-on-3 and burns Ross Cowie. But you can thank the penalties for that. The ref's calling it a little bit tight here, and Buffalo getting the short end of that stick. 7-6. The Wings climb back to within 1. I'll just count the players here to try to let you know what's going on. There are 4 players for each team.
It's not coming up.
Confusion.
What's that, the 30-second clock?
Yeah.
Okay, you got to watch?
Not now.
Oh, you got one to
You'll have to.
Shot clock malfunction, which means just like it is in basketball, if it doesn't work at one end, they'll shut the other
Give him a
end.
countdown of 5, 4, 3. 30-second clocks are out.
Okay.
30-second clocks. 30-second clocks are out. 30-second clock.
You get a malfunction on one end, they got to take them off for both ends, and that's what has happened. 30 seconds still applies. What will happen is the referee will give them a 10-second warning. Count them down from there. 7-6, the Bandits lead, but they are in trouble. They've got a lot of guys in the box. It'll be 4-on-4. Accordingly in the box for a 10-minute misconduct. That will not affect floor strength. Tavares is in a 5-minute major. His will. Philadelphia now putting on the pressure. That was Gary Gator trying to take a shot. Robbie Sheck. 4-on-4 now. Denikin, he's got a couple goals already. Wraps that one around Hartle. Back to Paul Gate. Paul Gate likes this, but he has a little bit of room to run. 4-on-4. Paul and Gary both on the field. Right in the face mask of Cowie. We'll have to look to see if Philadelphia has moved the lines around. The Gates have not been running together this year. Stewart coming in, got great speed. Slam dunk. Man, unbelievable speed by Stewart. 4-on-4, but when Stewart gets room, he takes off.
These 2 guys come together.
Air just outruns the defense, beats the sliding defense, and bounces it off Andy Piazza to give his team another 2-goal lead. Look at the veteran Aird. Comes in, Denikin now slides back to help out. He makes a big move. The sweeping move does not affect Stu Aird, and Aird gets air. Look at him gasping on the sidelines for Aird. Gasping, unbelievable. 3 goals tonight for Stu Aird. And as I mentioned, he'll be 37 years old next month. A veteran of the world team, the national team in Canada, a great player for the Buffalo Bandits. There's the rock, 1:48 left. 2-goal lead for Buffalo.
All right, he's out.
Technical violation on Buffalo, gives the ball to Philadelphia. They've done a great job. Chris Flynn, don't forget, banished from this game for fighting against Detroit. He is one of their best face-off men and an inspirational leader on this team. He's watching up here in the press box with me. Finneran gets around Hamlin. Finneran tries to find back door. Maricek. Goal number 7. Set up by Finneran, beats one man, sees Maricek. What great peripheral vision. Maricek comes in, takes his time, and spots his shot. Watch Finneran attract the defense, give it to Maricek. Maricek doesn't redirect it. He waits a second to get his aim. He gets his sight, and he nails it. 8-7. Seesaw battle. Stu Aird has scored 3 of the last 4 goals for Buffalo. Philadelphia has scored 3 of the last 4 goals in the game.
2 goals. He scored 1 goal, 4 on 3.
All right, they're looking for that box to get emptied. Philadelphia is. They've got 5 players on each team out there right now. The only guy in the box is Troy Cordingley, and that is the misconduct penalty that does not affect floor strength. Ryan Nicola, 1-on-1 against Martin, takes a bounce shot. Good move by Nicola, and absolutely gobbled up by Dallas Elliott. 1-goal lead by Buffalo with less than a minute to go in the half. 8-7. These teams are on their season average right around there. They both average about 16 goals, 15 goals. Off of Ross Cowie's stomach for the save. Ryan Silcott, midfielder of the year in Division III for Nazareth just last year. Tyson Elias, this is a guy, Tyson Elias, number 49 for Buffalo. All right, illegal pick against Buffalo. We were looking at Tyson Elias, who has to be, I think, a guy to score goals a little more consistently as the Buffalo team looks for the youth movement. Philadelphia, 8 seconds left. They've got to get a shot off. There it is. Denikin gobbled up by Ross Cowie. That'll do it probably for the half. 2 seconds going down. That'll do it. Great first half. Buffalo, the defending champions, with a 1-goal lead. We'll be back with our halftime on the Deuce in just a moment.
Paul, you're only down by 1 goal. Is this where you plan to be in the first half?
Well, we always plan to be ahead, not down by 1 goal. We'd like to be up by 1 goal, but we're hanging in there, and all we need to do is work hard the next half, and you hope we come out on top.
Well, what do you expect to do specifically? Are you going to try to shut down Tavares more? It seems to be working so far.
Basically, we're just going to try and be real physical. That's all we're really doing with Johnny Tavares, is just being real physical, trying to stay on top of him, not only him, but everyone else as well.
Well, thanks a lot, Paul Gate. We'll see you in the second half. Leaf will have stats and all that stuff coming up next on the Deuce.
Right down the road. That's why they have the lead. They're dominating these categories. Each team, extra man goals, 2 for 3 for Buffalo, 2 for 4 for Philadelphia. The standard shot charts during the regulation game. The Bandits getting 3 goals right in front of the goalie, Elliott, and then 3 more. 6 goals in the cylinder. Excellent offensive spread there. 1 goal from each wing. Now for Philadelphia, look at that. No goals in close in that red zone. Only 2 goals further out in the cylinder, and they've got 5 goals from the periphery, so they are not getting high percentage shots. One of the big stories of the half was the hit Elliott against Tavares. Anytime a goalie comes out and throws his leg, watch Elliott's left leg. He comes out trying to hurt Tavares. That, Buffalo says, should have been a 5-minute major penalty. It wasn't a 5-minute major. Then Tavares comes down, plays hard against Maricek, knocks his helmet off. Was that a 2-minute penalty? No. He got a 5-minute major. Stu Aird may have been the biggest difference in the game. He's got a hat trick, and he will continue to lead Buffalo for the second half.
So far, Gary has been shut out. Paul Gate has 1 goal, 1 assist. They're averaging 6 goals and 4 assists a game. Can they step it up in the second half? We talked to Paul at the beginning of the halftime report. He said, yes, they can. We'll be on the lookout for that, Leaf.
All right, Christy, so far Buffalo has led in all the categories. It's a slim lead of 1 goal for Buffalo. Don't forget the 7 goals scored by Philadelphia. 1 of them was scored by Cowie, the goalie for Buffalo. And as you mentioned, the Gates with only 1 goal. Is that an explosion ready to happen? We'll see in this half. Stu Aird misses that one. Stu Aird was doing a lot of running. 3 goals in the second quarter. To lead Buffalo as they charged out. They were down 3-2 at the end of the first quarter. And on the back of Stu Aird, they got the lead. Philadelphia now starts their offense. McAvoy against Beltman. And Beltman does such a great job of getting his stick on the shot. Now the outlet, Tavares, far side. You got about 1 defense, 1 offensive run, and then the coach wants to change, get some fresh legs on there, and that's what Buffalo's doing right now. 18 seconds on the shot clock. See if anything's changed. This is Rich Kilgore. Haven't heard much from him. Looking for help, trying to dish it off, finally does. Shot clock down to 7, a bounce shot off the stomach. Follow-up picked up by Dallas Elliott. Elliott was really under a lot of pressure in the first half. Remember the stats at our Coors Light halftime report. Dominated by Buffalo, putting pressure on Elliott the whole way. He spent some time in the penalty box, 2 minutes. Backside, no! Cutting down the cylinder, Denikin couldn't find Gate. 1 fake off the pipe. Cochran picks it up. Gake with a nice fake. Turnovers for the first half. Philadelphia with 13, Buffalo 10. That means no shots, you get a possession. They just turned that ball over. So all in all, 23 turnovers, showing that both teams playing a physical game.
Loose, loose.
You'll hear Roy Condon, the head referee. We've got him mic'd, and he will be going through the wars on the AstroTurf. You'll hear it all. Part of our deuce coverage. Elliott looks for the outlet pass, finds Denikin. Denikin's got a couple goals already, the only multi-goal scorer. Paul Gate now, all the way across to Denikin for the follow-up. He can't find it. Nick Ulove comes in to play defense. Nick's got to give it up. He's got players out front. Finally, Lias tries to pick it up. He can't get it. Glenn Lay was wide open up there for Brian Nicholas. He didn't see him. This is Brian Silcott. Brian Hall. Hall 17. I mentioned he had the flu this week. Les Bartley wasn't sure how far he could go. Watch him close to Aird. Turned into a real leader on this team, and Aird with a hat trick almost had his 4th goal. But Elliott squashed that shot. 12 minutes left. Lee Felsmo and Christy Lee on the deuce, bringing you major indoor lacrosse. This has been the matchup. Watch him close, another one off the pipe. Paul Gate, 2 Gate pipes so far here in the 3rd quarter, so they are putting pressure on Cowie. They're beating him, but they can't find the net. No rope. Watch that one go over the head of Elliott. And I think we'll have a cross-check call.
Keep coming, Dre.
On Tom Marechek. Roy Condon will call it out for you.
42, 4-2, roughing. 42, roughing. 2 minutes.
Les Bartley very calm and controlled. He wants to get his team set up well for the playoffs. He wants to keep the monkey on the back of Philadelphia. He doesn't want to ever let them think they can beat this Buffalo team. It's more important for him to get his team healthy for the championship run, which starts next week and the week after against Detroit for the Buffalo Bandits. This is Scott Gabrielson, captain number 8 to Jimmy Rogers, good-looking rookie. And Tavares plays great defense. Tavares looking for a trailer for help, and Rogers bottles him up on the boards.
Reset.
Reset the shot clock, give it to Buffalo on the push on Rogers. And credit Tavares with the turnover. Hamley now, it's 5-on-4, it's a power play. Marechek is in the box. Licking close, Lias with a rocket. And Elliott with a save. If Lias pulls it near side, he's got some rope. But he went far side, and Elliott just ricocheted up high. In close, watch out, good shot. Beautifully done And that one by Rich Kilgore from Tyson Lias. That's a new look on the offense of Buffalo. Darius Kilgore normally plays that high right-handed shooter. This was Tyson Lias, the rookie, and he dishes it down to Rich Kilgore. Dallas Elliott trying to stay composed under intense pressure. Look at Rich Kilgore getting wide open, 5-1-4. It was Tyson Lias baiting the defense and then dishing it off to Kilgore, and he just gets a roll into the cylinder and beats Elliott for goal number 9. 9-7, a 2-goal lead for Buffalo. Watch out, in close, Gary Gate, 2 fakes and a goal! Finally, Gary Gate finds rope. Gate gets it down low, makes a fake to the far side, then a fake to the near side, and just dunks it past. Watch Gate make the 2 fakes to move Ross Cowie. Gets him totally confused and then just dunks it past the hip side. 15th goal of the season, first of the night for Gary Gate. Back to within 1, 9-8 now. Buffalo still leads. Andy Shaughnessy picks up the face-off. Philadelphia won the first quarter, 3-2. Shaughnessy takes a shot in close. Elliott gobbles it up. Cochran tries to pick it up. He's loose in front. Finneran makes it impossible for him to do that. And the loose ball picked up by Hamley. Fresh shot clock. Rich Kilgore. Hard shot. He's got rope. 2 goals in a row for Rich Kilgore. Kilgore scored on a power play to open up the third quarter. And here's an open 5-on-5. Beautiful job. Just nothing but speed. He rockets this thing and just tears rope. Look at this thing. Nothing but velocity over the shoulder. Elliott saw it all the way. It was so fast. Shots in lacrosse can get over 100 miles an hour. That one looked to be about 100, 102. And it just beat the reflexes of Dallas Elliott. 10-8, another 2-goal margin. Kilgore opened up the third quarter. It was 8-7 at the half.
When he's down, he hit him again. What can I tell you? He's got him on the foul. He's got him.
All right. Roy Condon again, really policing the field. And it looks like Martin goes in the box for Philadelphia, and also a player into the box. Looks like accordingly, I think. It's still 5-on-4 though. It's a power play for Buffalo. Look to get into Lias. Lias cannot collect it. That was from Veltman. Veltman, 32, picks it up for Buffalo. Hamley is the point man. He's the quarterback right there. Hamley will try to attract defense. Now Veltman wide open. He finds the same corner. And that is goal number 11 as Buffalo making it look easy against a confused man-down defense. And Elliott needs help. Hamley will give it to Veltman. First he attracts the defense. Now Veltman walks in, takes the shot over the shoulder. 11-8, Buffalo leads.
6-4.
Buffalo taking charge. They have scored 3 goals in 1:49. 2 of them on extra man offense, 2 of them by Rich Kilgore. That's Brian Silcott facing off for Buffalo against Scott Gabrielson. And it's controlled by Buffalo. They make it look so easy. This is a team in total control from the bench. Let's start the general manager right on down the line. They know what they want to do. It's a total team concept. Tyson Lias looking to give it back to Hall, but no defensive holes there. Tyson Lias takes a shot from the same corner, but Elliott comes up big and makes the save. A new shot clock, and the ball goes back to Buffalo. Far side, Brian Nicholas. This is Brian Hall. Makes a juke move inside the cylinder and a big save. The broom save by Dallas Elliott. Brian Hall just beat the defense, got inside the cylinder, and was one-on-one with Elliott. All right, Christy Lee, sideline action.
Well, you were talking about a total team effort. That's exactly what Les Bartley is telling his team, Leaf. Keep control. Don't get in that penalty box and pick up the loose balls. He told his team at that last time out, look at the score, guys. We're doing it. We're doing our system. We're taking the shots we need to take. He said, just keep it up.
And Christy, we witnessed on the deuce Boston beating this team, breaking the 22-game win streak, and that's when the system broke down. They just didn't do the things they normally do to win a game. Boston handled them. Tonight, Philadelphia trying to find the magic. And the ground ball situation is that the Bandits lead 49-38. Fans, I'm telling you, they don't come any better than these in Philadelphia. 17,380, a mill record. Now, Buffalo sells out every game of the season. They only hold 16,200 and change. Spectrum, knowing the importance of this matchup, they want to see the Wings find the secret of how to beat this team. Watch the far side. Marichek comes in, had a wide open net. Great move, but he couldn't find it. Gary Gate finally gets the rope. Gary Gate is starting to light it up. The only 2 goals of this quarter, both by Gary Gate. Look how he drops the stick low and then shoots high. Watch the stick come low. Gary calls for it low, shoots high, and he gets Ross Cowie going down with the stick, opening up a target to the top. Beautifully done by Gary Gate, who has really come to play here in the second half. 11-9, a 2-goal lead for Buffalo. Face-off controlled by Philadelphia. And Gary, but they couldn't get it through. Who picks it up? You got it, Veltman, as they tried to squeeze it into Gary Gate. Stu Aird, he's had a big first half. Another shot. 2 big shots by Aird in the cylinder. Same way, push call on Cordingley, and that gives it back. Tavares takes it behind the goal. Aird has looked sensational on the fast breaks. Les Bartley happy with the way his team is running their system. He talks about the system. He spells it out in great detail to this team, so they know exactly what the roles are. Cordingley tries to sneak in past the defense. Nothing there. Johnny Nostrand playing defense. Nostrand wraps him up, a hold call, and he's nailed from behind. Cordingley pays the price. Ooh, loose call. I'll tell you what, I don't know how this ball could have been loose. Johnny Nostrand just rode him in. Here's Cordingley coming in. They call this ball a loose ball push. Nostrand will just start tackling him right there. Now it's loose, and that's the push somewhere in there that gives it back to Buffalo. You've heard Roy Condon, and I'm sure you, as I, feel like we all know who's in charge in this game. Referee's doing a great job. Football face mask right there. We talked about the different face masks. Notice when you can that they all do a little bit of a variety. Shots on goal, Buffalo almost twice as many as Philadelphia. And that is the key. 40-22 really gives them the advantage. This game, 11-9, shows you how great Dallas Eliak is. Any kind of slouchy game from Dallas, and Buffalo could have a huge lead with that much of an advantage in shots on goal. But they only lead by 2, Buffalo does. 6 minutes left as they get inside. Hamley tries to trick Dallas Eliak with a little bit of an underhand shot. Ball picked up by Laub into Hamley. Hamley's got some room, looking to get it back to Laub. Now he does. Far side is Kilgore. Defense gives it back to the Wings. Oh, Shaughnessy tried to pick it off from Gary Gate. Cowie out of the goal, giving his team an extra man as he outlets. Now they only have 10 seconds to get it up. Hamley better move it. They give it to Tyson Elias. It's not over the midfield stripe yet. Now it is. And Lay picks up. They almost had a backcourt violation. A lot of lines out there to confuse you. Brian Mikula loves the left hand. Very strong player. Coming in, down the cylinder. Watch the shot. Misses the goal. They need a fresh shot clock. Elias takes one. That gives him a fresh shot clock. Big save by Dallas Eliak. Elias just sighted up the rope and cranked it. Paul Gate against 3 Buffalo Bandits. Ryan Hall working him hard. Ryan Hall plugging him with both hands. Gate, bigger, stronger, tries to get it in. Can't beat Ross Cowie, and Brian Hall did a great job of staying with the position. 11-9, 2-goal lead by Buffalo. We'll be back with more coverage of the Major Indoor Lacrosse League on the Deuce from the Spectrum. Spending some time this quarter on the Buffalo bench, a bench that is very well organized. And actually, Christy, as I look down there, they're not sitting down as much as we've seen them in the past. They're up, they're on the side, and that's not the demeanor that Les normally has them in. He usually has them sitting down, getting a full rest between runs.
That's right, Leaf. As a matter of fact, Les Bartley just told all of his players, hey, we need to knuckle down. They're running the Gates off the bench. We know how to stop that. We got to get down there, get our defense together, and get on the lookout for the Paul and Gary Gate. Could be a big factor in this game. We said it earlier. Watch out for those Gate brothers.
And Christie, again, the Gates are Canadian, and the bulk of this team for Buffalo is Canadian. They know Paul and Gary, and they feel like these guys have some habits. They're great players, sensational players, but they have habits that they just aren't going to break very easily. They know what they think they're going to do.
Well, Les Bartley studies films over and over and over again, and if there is a man who is any more prepared than Mr. Bartley, I don't know who it is. And Leaf, you can bet he has watched Paul and Gary, and he knows exactly what he's going to do to counter that attack.
Well, the stats tell the story. He has been doing a pretty good job of putting the nail or the lid on that scoring machine, I should say. I guess the nail will go into it if they can win this game. They do lead right now 11-9. Saves, twice as many saves for Dallas Elliott, 30-15. That of Ross Cowie just shows you the pressure that Dallas Elliott has been under for the great offense of Buffalo. And Elliott has been sensational. 30 saves is about his game average. So anything from now on is over his game average. That's how high-powered the offense is. Right there, a shot to the old 5-hole, and a follow-up shot goes wide. They didn't give it a goal, but hit two pipes. Many times of his two pipes, they give him a goal. Spinner in now. Tavares, the only defender. Inside, great save by Cowie. Fast break. Denikin thought he had it. Beautifully done by Finneran, but Cowie just made probably the best save of the game. Watch this, fast break. It goes all the way over to Denikin. Cowie reads it beautifully, baits for the low. He covered the high shot. Watch him cover the high shot, baits him low, and then goes down and gobbles up the low shot. Big save by Ross Cowie. Now live action on the other end.
You didn't have it. You sure can unless you have it.
And Roy Condon taking charge, giving the ball back to Philadelphia. A crease violation, giving the ball back to Philadelphia. A minute 19 left. 2-goal lead for Buffalo as Philadelphia gets their offense in gear. Far side, Govett. Govett has looked good. The Canadian comes in. He hasn't had a full season this year, playing in spots for Philadelphia. This is Paul Gate going against Rich Kilgore. What a shot! Rope for Paul. Ross Cowie played it beautifully, but the shot will come over his shoulder. Watch Kilgore play the stick. He plays the front side. Cowie is playing the front side. Paul Gate wraps it around his back. No way you can get set for that. You've got to respect stick side. He wraps around his shoulder because he knew that's where he had rope, and he finds it. 2 goals by Gary, 1 for Paul. They each have 2, but they have dominated for Philadelphia, the offense in the third quarter. 11-10. They're back to within 1. It's been all Gates on the Wings offense. Ross Cowie was positioned beautifully for that Paul Gate shot. You have to respect the stick side. Paul Gate wraps around his shoulder for his second goal of the night. 42 seconds left. Philadelphia back on the attack. This is the best offensive set. They've had a lot of offense in the face of Cowie here in the third quarter. Watch for Gary Gate rolling in. 2 defenders now, a cutter. Maricek backdoor. Maricek wrapped it around. Same shot Paul did, but on the other side, the Gates are predominantly left. Maricek's a righty. Here goes into Paul Gate, check from behind. I think a push call. Watch them as they come in to separate bodies.
And then he kicked him into wash. I know, you held his leg and almost tackled him. You want to go 4-4? Nothing. The black ball. No, started with a hold on his
Condon
leg.
telling Denikin
Right
and
there.
Veltman exactly what's going on. He swapped it off. He's telling them what's at stake if they don't listen to his instructions. And he's doing a great job, the referees are, with Roy Condon, of keeping people out of the box as much as possible. 11 seconds left. Third quarter, 1-goal lead by Buffalo. Ooh.
Hold, going out.
All right, 7 seconds left. Philadelphia can get one last shot. They'll get the Gates on. Paul Gate comes on. He asks for the ball. Who has it? McAvoy has it. 2 seconds left. He better shoot quick. 1, none. He just took away a shot. McAvoy couldn't get the shot off. Great defense by Stu Air. We'll be back with the final quarter. Buffalo still leads by 1.
smart. Here's the place to start. I wanna get to it, wanna advance. Right here you'll get the chance. We got the know-how to send you full speed.
Buffalo controls the ball for the first time here in the fourth quarter, the crunch quarter. With that one-goal lead, Hamley now takes the ball as they get their offense set. This team has dominated the stats all the way throughout the game, but Elliott has kept the game close. The Gates started to light their own offensive fire in the third quarter. 2 goals by Gary, 1 by Paul. Hamley couldn't get that one in. Elliott makes the big save on the follow-up. And here comes the offense for Philadelphia. Volker, number 6. Over to Denikin, or Finneran rather, and the stats in the third quarter still dominated by Buffalo, but watch out, here come the Wings. This game is tied up for the first time since early in the second quarter, and here's how it happened. Way out front, hard shot, just finds rope. Cowie way out in front to cut the angle, but screen, he couldn't see it. By the time he sees it, the velocity just rips it past him. Robbie Sheck with his second goal of the night. Watch out again, Martin! Rope! Gary Martin only has 1 goal the whole year. Here's number 2. Great feed and a beautiful cut across the cylinder. Is this guy happy? Defensive specialist Gary Martin puts his team up for the first time since the first quarter when they led 3-2. Now the challenge for Buffalo is to get back in this game. The emotional lift started by the Gates. 2 goals by Gary, 1 by Paul in the third quarter. And now the offense is trying to find a little bit of confidence. They control it again. Rogers tries to get it through 2 or 3 defensive players. Beltman on Marichek. Marichek comes through, looks for help, gets it up top. Nowstrand takes the left-handed shot, gobbled up by Ross Cowie. Buffalo very calm in the face of this big push by Philadelphia. They're down by 1 now, Buffalo is. Let's see how they react. Stu Ayer, the veteran, brings it down. Fresh legs on for Buffalo. We haven't heard from Cordingley all day. He is one of the great young stars. Johnny Nelson locking him up. Number 40, Troy Cordingley. Backdoor Shaughnessy, 5-hole, great save. A couple words from Elliott talking about that backdoor play to Govett. Big save, Dallas Elliott. Johnny Nelson, left hand, he's got a cannon. Misses the 30, or the 18 square feet, I should say. Martin. Up top, Johnny Nelson wants the left. He's got rope. Philadelphia, they lead by 2, and they are on a tear.
Back at the Spectrum, it is rocking here. Major indoor lacrosse league action. Chrissy Lee on the bench with Gary Martin. Gary, you have scored your 2nd goal of the year. Your team is now leading by 2. It's got to feel good, buddy.
It was a long time coming, but, you know, if we play hard out there, the goals will come. I'm not out there to score goals.
I heard your coach say that the team has finally come together and you're playing like you should be. Can you elaborate on that for us?
Well, you know, again, it goes on both sides of the field. We pick up the ground balls, goals come from that. The transition game, that's what we got to do. Play hard and we'll get the goals.
Gary Martin, kind of the elder statesman on this team, but doing the job tonight, Leaf.
Philadelphia on a 5-0 run. The Bandits haven't scored a goal in over 11 minutes. And things are going to get tough. The timeout by Les Bartley. Les Bartley says, let's keep these guys out of the cylinder with that kind of defense. Too many easy goals, according to Bartley, in that last 11 minutes. Hartle goes to the bench, goes to the box, rather. He'll be out for 2 minutes. That was the Muggy going to the bench. Hartle, the mugger, is in the penalty box. Paul Gate will try to ignite the power play. First quarter owned by Philadelphia 3-2, but then it was Buffalo 9-7 winning the second and third quarter. But look at the fourth. Philadelphia, 3 straight goals. They are feeling confident. Paul Gate wraps it around to Marichek. Marichek down low. Can't find Denikin. Tries to get into Finner and one-handed. No. Picked up. Watch Tavares one-on-one. If he can get it, Tavares one-on-one. No. He goes wide. Couldn't find Rope. Elliott was locked up, and Paul Gate was following on defense. Push call goes back to Buffalo. Buffalo, don't forget, has scored 2 man-down goals. That's man-down goals. They only had 4 players. Philadelphia had 5. That's the case right now. 4 players on the field for Buffalo. 24 seconds on the shot clock. When you come into this game, you say, well, it doesn't count in the standings. Why should it have playoff intensity? But it's every bit as intense as a playoff game. 17,000 fans knowing that the monkey has to come off the back of the Philadelphia squad. Here at the Spectrum, if they have to go back and play for the championship, it'll probably be in Buffalo. They have to know how to beat this team. They have to have the confidence. Marichek in close. Marichek could be the difference in this game. He is so smooth. He was drafted by Buffalo. Sat out a year, ends up playing with the Gate brothers, who he really has a great affinity for and a great coordination with. These guys play well together. Similar moves. Watch Marichek come in. Once he sets, he can fire from anywhere. That's goal number 14 for Philadelphia. They have rattled off 6 straight goals, and now Bill Geary comes in. The MVP of Buffalo's win last week against Boston. Geary comes in to try to save the day here. 9 minutes left. Buffalo has been in command of this game all the way through statistically. They led the game from the second quarter through the third quarter before the Gate brothers started to get this thing going for Philadelphia. Hamley trying to get an offense starting for Buffalo. Cordingley gets rocked by Martin. We haven't heard from Troy Cordingley, and that's been a real hole in the offense for Buffalo. Cordingley has been playing with a sore right ankle the whole season, much of the season.
Goalie! Up top,
Watch him, they get into Cordingley. They know how tough he is. Gary Martin, who has scored a goal today, defensive specialist, just levels him. And you can see the play accelerate. The confidence level is really up for Philadelphia. Cordingley can't pick it up. He's been hit in the cylinder so long, he's a little edgy when he gets possession. Brian Volker, defensive All-American for Hopkins, comes down. Scott Martin, far side. Martin feels like an offensive warhorse. Backdoor goal by Nostrin. He's got rope in the 15th goal for Philly. For Johnny Nostrin, beating Bill Geary in his first attempt. 8:54 left, 4-goal lead for the Wings.
Think of all this as a large block of ice. Think of this as a chip off the old block. Coors Light's aged ice cold. So when you think of ice, think of the silver bullet. The only way to chill.
Bill Geary looks at his team as they get ready to face off. Brian Silcott, number 4, facing off against Gabrielson. Chris Flynn out because of the melee last week, but it's been Gabrielson who's done such a great job facing off. Philly on a 7-0 run. 5 straight goals in the fourth quarter. Now they lead by 4. Gary Gate, hard shot on Bill Geary, who makes his first big save. Swatted out of bounds by Veltman. It'll be Philadelphia's ball. If you're Les Bartley in Buffalo, you don't want to give this one away. You've controlled it so well. And thank Dallas Elliott for Philadelphia for keeping your team in the game. Finner in with a low shot, swept to the side by Geary. Dallas Elliott kept his team in the game. And finally, the offense got on track. Finneran now in the cylinder. Nobody knocking him down. Stu Aird trails him. Glenn Lay takes that ball. An offensive player out. Hardle now back to Glenn Lay. Up to Jimmy Veltman. Veltman looks to outlet. Does a great job. Looking far side. Stu Aird was waiting for the ball. Aird being wrapped up by Gary Gate. Gate playing some great defense. Back to Troy Cordingley. Where's Troy's goals? We need him now. Brian Nicola, tuck move in close. Big save by Elliott. Nicola did a nice job of getting inside the defense. Elliott coming up huge again. Christy Lee's now back on the Philadelphia bench, and it is wild.
Well, as you can imagine, Lee, this team is very excited. Head coach Tony Resch just said, you gotta play smart, guys. If there's any doubt in your mind, get back on defense. Obviously, they just scored, so they're doing a hell of a job on offense as well.
It was a follow-up goal, Christy, by Tom Marichek. The first shot wide. Marichek comes flying in, and if you'll notice at home, I'm sure you can feel the emotional lift, the confidence is given this team. This team did not look this way for 3/4 of the game. Sheck bounces it off the boards. Look at Marichek coming in, following up the shot in front of Tavares. Watch Marichek get inside of Tavares and just hammers it home behind Bill Geary. Can't fault Geary on that one. Good play by Marichek, 16-11, and they have taken over at the Spectrum. 7 minutes left for Buffalo to try to get back into this one and save some face. Right now, it's all Wings. Tony Resch, George Corrigan, feeling a little bit better. I tell you, their team looked a little bit confused for most of the game. Their extra man was horrible, but they have really done a great job. Starting the 3rd quarter, they matched up beautifully with Gary Gates scoring 2, Paul Gates scoring 1. Then Schick, Martin, Nostrom with a couple. They just started opening up the offense late 3rd quarter and 4th quarter. And nobody answering back to Buffalo. That is key. Great defense played by Philly. Brian Silcott. Silcott comes in, gets nailed, goes low. That's got to be a call. I don't believe it. You cannot go down below the waist. But they give it to him. The home crowd here getting the benefit of a good call there. Gary Gate wrapped up. And now Veltman gets called for it. And Veltman's saying, what about down there? Watch Martin go down. That is a horrible call, folks, because that is an injury. That's right in the rule book. I'm not getting on the refs, folks, because you can read it in the rule book. If you go down to the knees, you're in the penalty box, period. And I don't know how they could have missed that one. I can see it, and I'm 50 rows up in the stands. But anyway, on balance, the referees have been excellent, of course. That call goes against Buffalo. Veltman will be in the box. We'll have 4 minutes, 35 seconds left. Philadelphia has a 5-goal lead and a power play on the deuce.
A lot of MCI customers confess they didn't get the savings they hoped for.
We tried MCI on that friends and family thing. I was very disappointed in the plan.
I mean, if you want to give us savings, give us savings. Just give it to us.
Introducing AT&T True USA Savings. If you spend $25 a month, you'll get 20% off your AT&T long-distance calls. 20% off, guaranteed. And the fact is, 2 out of 3 friends and family users on basic or prime time will save more on True USA Savings.
I thought we were going to save a lot of money, and we didn't.
The truth is, the average friends and family basic customer's discount is only 6%.
I'm going to switch back to AT&T.
Call us at 1-800-PICK-ATT. The call's free. Switching is free. And you get 20% off every call you make in the USA. Anytime, anywhere, to anyone you call.
Bye, MCI.
Call us at 1-800-PICK-ATT.
The real you coming through your true voice.
Back at the Spectrum, Lee Felsmo, Christy Lee, as this one winds down. Philadelphia has taken over in the fourth quarter. 16-11. They now have a power play, 4 players against 3, and 3 of those guys are Gates and Marichek. They are so tough to defend. Marichek, he doesn't even know where it is. Stuck in a stick, folks. It is stuck in there. They're trying to get it loose. The referee has to give it to Buffalo. That stick is illegal if the ball won't come out. It's all right. He says it's all right. Now he gives it to Tom Marichek out front. And Christy Lee right now is on the Philadelphia would-be winners bench.
I love that, don't you, Leaf? Well, we talked about it earlier in the season, how Tony Resch did something that nobody ever thought they'd do. He'd split Paul and Gary Gate up on different lines. It started out that way tonight, but if you notice in the second half, Paul and Gary have been playing a lot of minutes together. I hear, they tell me, they, being people on this bench, that that's going to be something that you're going to see a lot of in the playoffs. Paul and Gary back on their line together.
Well, it was a point of controversy because, you know, if you're a coach, you respect both players, but how do you defense when they're both on the same line? It's almost impossible. Paul Gate, big juke move in front, wide on the shot. Totally faked out Hartle. And now Hartle gets the ball back. Paul Gate tries to defend. Fast break. Stu Aird. Beautiful pickoff. Aird comes in and hits Dallas Elliott right in the gloves. Stu Aird off to the races. Great job playing man down. Veltman picks up, intercepts a pass that was going to Paul Gate. Would have been a sure goal, folks. Paul Gate was all by himself. Veltman takes a shot again right in the old midsection. Here's Paul Gate. Outlet pass to Paul. Veltman there. And a shot saved by Bill Geary. Tavares. 2 men defending him. Good shot off the pipe. Both teams dead tired. 18 minutes without a goal for Buffalo, and that might be a record in itself. Shot in close by Gary Gate. Wrap shot by Marichek. These guys are magicians. Paul Gate, he has time and space, misses the goal again. Paul misses the goal the last 2 times. Unusual. Don't give him another shot, folks, because he won't miss it 3 times. 3 minutes left. 5-goal lead for Philadelphia. They have done what they needed to do. The monkey is off their back. They will win this one. Check, far side, can't get it through the cylinder. And it looks like guys are playing a little less emotion. The worst loss in Bandits history, January 25th, 92, 23-17 by Detroit. And that was a 6-goal loss. So right now we're 5 goals. And that game I just showed you, I'll get to it in a minute, folks. Here's Roy Condon.
No. Retaliation. They both go. Instigation. I got it. Tell them over there. Instigation slap.
Well, Condon again taking charge. Instigation, retaliation. Each of them go in the box. Doesn't affect field play, but keeps tempers even. That game you saw, Detroit, the worst loss for Buffalo, was back in the first games Buffalo played in this league, 1992. They lost their first 3 games in the league. Then they won every other game that year, including the championship. Won every game last year, including the championship. Or they were off to a run this year before Boston beat them. They were 22 games straight with wins. Boston beats them, and then this would be their 2nd loss this year. If they lose tonight, it looks like they certainly will. Les Bartley wanted to win tonight, but more importantly, he wanted a healthy team. Bill Geary comes up, giving his team a little bit of an edge. Nobody in the goal, nobody in the nets. Far side, it was a big fake-out play, folks. He was pretending he had the ball. They had me faked out. Far side, Tyson Elias had it. Dallas Elliott was not going to be fooled twice on that one. Nicula. Hard shot. Big save. Back door. No goal. They're going to give the ball to Buffalo. The net was knocked off its normal set position. The goal did not count. And you should see the pushing and shoving off the ball as you look at Dallas Elliott. Brian Hall against McAvoy. 2 minutes left, 5-goal lead for Philadelphia. That's right. Buffalo led throughout. They dominated in the numbers. The numbers were so dominant, they should have had about a 10-goal lead, but Elliott was the difference in the game early on. Govett. Now Gary comes out as goose that ball up development. And look how quick they get the outlet. Nicula to Brian Hall. Brian Hall back to Nicula. Nicula can't find the net. No rope. Brian Hall will shoot over his back if he has a moment. He can't get it. Good defense by Gabrielson. Watch Veltman. Here comes Geary again. He'll pick it up. Defense by Bates. A little raggy here. Both teams not wanting to race anymore. They just want to get a couple goals here. Tyson Elias can't beat Elliott. Well, Tyson Elias took a shot against Scott Gabrielson. Gabrielson was playing tough defense. Look at Gabrielson's stick, folks. It's bent in half right there. Tony Resch saying he'll take this quarter anytime. Dallas Elliott, sensational. The only mistake maybe that time he came out of the goal, he was emotionally into the game and threw his leg out against Tavares, but he has played a great game. He is really the reason they're in it. Gabrielson's stick I mentioned is now going to the sideline, broken, just bent in half. They're aluminum shafts. Now here's Elliott, who's been really the story of the game as far as I'm concerned. He kept the team in it. Finally, his offense woke up, and look at that. Tyson Elias right in his face. You can't beat the master. Power play, 4-on-3. Paul Gate, who missed the goal a couple times. He won't do it again. Gary, juke move in close. Big save by Bill Gary. Christie leaves her on the sideline the whole game. Christie?
If you can imagine here on the Philadelphia Wings bench, this is just absolutely unbelievable. They did what they had to do. They said they got their game together last week in Detroit. It's come together again, and they have beaten the Buffalo Bandits almost. It looks like that's going to happen. You're going to hear a wonderful victory celebration in the Spectrum here tonight.
Well, they had to do it to have an emotional comfort level going into the championship series. If in fact they have to face Buffalo again, which they think they may have to, they'd be the odds-on favorite to win that national division. They're the defending champions. So it'll come down to Buffalo. They have to beat Detroit to get to the championship game. The Philadelphia Wings will have to beat the winner of next week's game, and you'll see that on the deuce. It'll be Baltimore at New York. And we'll let you know where to watch that or what day to watch that. And a little bit later on in our broadcast here, the clock's down to 38 seconds.
How much on the clock when we restarted?
They never started it.
All right. Got it?
Dallas Elliott now gives it up. Kevin Finnering. Half a minute left, folks, and the Spectrum will be rocking and rolling. The team will take a celebrity lap, maybe two, maybe three. This will feel good for this team. Last two World Championships won by Buffalo against Philadelphia by 1 goal. And that's why they're so happy. Nicula, the fast break, couldn't collect the ball. Rebound, can't get it. Defended by Gary Gate. Now he's all by himself in close. Fake, and net. He finally finds the rope. Nicula gets goal number 12. Good job of following up his own shot. Takes a minor sting to the big win for Philly. Look at the fake. 1, 2, 3. Gets Elliott looking left and finally dunks it into Elliott's right. Nice move by Brian Nicula, who followed up his own shot. Did all the work for that one. Deserves the 12th goal of the game for Buffalo, but it was a long time between scores. They didn't score at all in the fourth quarter. 11 seconds left now. They didn't score for a great majority of the last part of the third quarter. Tony Resch thinking that his team finally has the secrets. Don't forget, Buffalo did not play with Darius Kilgore, one of their strongest players. First ever victory against Buffalo for the Philadelphia Wings. Let's enjoy it. Dallas Elliott, the big star, he stopped Buffalo when he had to. They came back, they win big, 16-12. They win by 4. We'll be back with our closing comments in a minute.